Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. This is Fatima Freena, your surgeon at arms for today's session. Behalf of District 116 Division B, welcomes you all to Division B Training Series 2. Before starting the meeting, I would like to mention few ground rules which we follow in our Toastmaster meeting. Kindly keep your mobile phones silent mode. Keep your microphones muted, and however, feel free to share your questions and suggestions in your chat. Ensure your camera is properly aligned with your posture. Please maintain meetings decorum by avoiding unnecessary movement if your video is turned on. Kindly refrain to speak on the topics sex, religion, or politics. Best wishes and greetings to all the attendees. And now let me welcome Division B Director Ajaya Suhas Rogi, double DTM, a passionate Toastmaster who joined the ICSU One Toastmaster Club in 2019. He was District PQ Award Co-Chair, District Club Coach Co-Chair, Division C Assistant Program Quality 2024-25. And she has also been Area 12 Director and President of the Marathi Toastmaster Club. Served various leadership roles at district, division, area, and club, right from club coach, Gavels, coordinator, and division PR. And also handled all club officer roles in the past 4 years. Also co-trainer for the last 3 years for different roles. So let's put your hands together to welcome Division B Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Ajay Rogi.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Toastmaster Afrina. Let's give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Afrina. She is our division PR and she is always there to support us, being a part of our division XCOM. She is working behind the scenes, and thank you for everything, Toastmaster Afrina. Now, a warm good evening to all of you. I hope you all are as excited as I am, because we are going to talk about how to maintain the membership, how to retain our members, and how make them feel that they are the pillars of any club. So today, without further ado, let me first open today's meeting number 2 of TLI series of Division B opened. As I always believe that if knowledge is the power, then learning is the superpower. And I keep on learning, and I wish that each one of us should target that learning never stops. We should always keep learning and growing. That way, we will come out of our comfort zone and we will try to give a helping hand to others also, so that they can also achieve their goals. So with this positive note, I will now introduce my role players of today's meeting who are going to help us to conduct this training smoothly. Starting with, as I said, we had Sergeant at Arm Toastmaster Fatima Afrina. She is also our division PR manager. Then timer for today is Toastmaster Yatika Tripathi. Is Yatika inside the room? Then we have Zoom host and my assistant club growth for Division B, distinguished Toastmaster Kumaran CS, who is taking care of Zoom host role today. My club assistant program quality, distinguished Toastmaster Shri Devi, is away, so she is not able to join us today. Then I have my TLI chair, Toastmaster Manjiri Dahale, as our co-host, and she will be taking care of all other things, which are like taking of photographs and recording and posting everything everywhere, and make it possible that each one of the member who is here in the room and who is not in the room should get the benefit out of this training today. My question answer coordinator for today's training session is Area Director Toastmaster Samir Karmarkar. So we have a lot of enthusiastic members and leaders inside the room, and few more will join us soon. I acknowledge the presence of District 116 Club Group Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Iman Sarami. Ma'am, thank you for joining us. Even though you are working today, you are joining us from there. So thank you for that. I also welcome our both the trainers, Distinguished Toastmaster Soumya Shetty, Club Group Director of District 127, and Toastmaster Christoph Skimke. Am I pronouncing your name rightly? Thank you. So without further ado, let me introduce our first trainer for today. As I said, I have to just check that who can give this beautiful training to all our District 116 members. And this name popped up, and then I tried to get in touch with few people, and I got this opportunity to invite Soumya ma'am to take care of our TLI series club growth session for today. She is HR professional and an adventure enthusiastic at heart, and she's tried her hands in skydiving, scuba diving, and finds her balance through yoga and hiking. Oh, wow. That was amazing. I always get scared about reading these words also. I don't know how you are managing everything. With passion for people and purposeful leadership, she is not just served in multiple clubs and district roles in Toastmasters. She excelled, earning Best Area Director in District 105 and Best Division Director in Smedley District 127. Today, she leads with a vision as a Club Growth Director of District 127. She is a proud mother of two lovely daughters, and she gracefully balances work, wellness, family, and her Toastmasters journey, proving that you really can do it all with ease. So let's put your hands together to welcome our first trainer for today's training session, Distinguished Toastmaster Soumya Shetty. Ma'am, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Division B Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Ajaya, and I welcome you all, whoever could make it for this training. Let me just quickly share my screen, but let me tell you, yes, it's an education session, training session, but let's make it as much as interactive as possible. Because it's Sunday evening, you all chose to be here. That means this is important. Today is also a lunar eclipse, as my mother says, don't eat anything beyond this time. So I think let's make best utilization of this time by learning something, right? By keeping ourselves engaged in the right way. And I can see a lot of smiling faces there. So guess I'm not the only one. All right, let me just share my screen. Is this visible?
Yes, the screen is visible.
Awesome. Okay. So I don't know how do I access the chat box while I'm still reading this, but I'll try to. Is there a way for me to see the chat box while presenting?
Just on the toolbar on the top, you will have a floating bar, and in that you will have the
Yes.
chat box. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So members of District 116, yeah, and all the dignitaries mentioned present in the house, including our very own Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Iman, a very warm welcome. So first and foremost, my first question to everyone is, in the chat box mention, how did you come to know first about Toastmasters? Was it via social media or someone through word of mouth, like your friends or family or colleague mentioned? So if it's social media, put 1. If it is friends, word of mouth, it put 2. Yes, Azam says from a friend. You can just put 2. 2 is for via friend, word of mouth, friend, colleague, Toastmaster. 1 is for through social media, which is LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. 2.
Yes, from my father 40 years back. Wow. 2, 1. Okay, awesome. So what does the response tells us? Most of us in this stories.
Mouth publicity.
Yeah. So that was the purpose of showing this, that is even till today in the digital age, how big of an influence of Toastmasters has via word of mouth. And while I was there in the convention, which has just happened earlier in August, and your CGD Iman was also there. There, everybody was referring as Toastmasters is world's best kept secret. And it struck me because it is so true. Even if you go out and talk to someone about Toastmasters, there are very few people who have still heard about Toastmasters. I bet even if you go and talk to your relatives or colleagues or friends, not many will know about Toastmasters. And what that has to do with today's presentation. So let's speak about the membership building aspect. Now, membership building aspect from a club perspective, because I assume again, most of them are club leaders. So what does it mean for a membership building, and from where does it start? The first and foremost is club branding. What it means is, let's say you are a product, you yourself are a product, either as an entrepreneur or as a person who is working, right? Now, unless and until you brand yourself, companies won't hire you. They won't know what you are, what are the benefits, or what is that you bring onto the table. And same stands for your club. So, as a club, how do you brand yourself? Are you doing enough to brand yourself? Yeah, this is some food for thought. Number two is, what is the unique selling proposition? Okay, so I heard someone was member of a Marathi club. Okay, so USP of this club could be, in an expat land, this is the only Marathi speaking club where people can practice their home country language, right? This is just one example. There are debate clubs, there are language clubs, there are clubs where only advanced clubs are there, only senior people are there. There are clubs which is only for, let's say, debate or table topics or whatever. What is that unique selling proposition? Yeah, so identify as a club, what is your unique selling proposition? And third, which is very, very important, which I think we spoke a lot even in our district leadership training as well, is the value proposition. When the members come to the club, what in turn they get the value? What do they get? Any answers? What, what is the value we give as Toastmasters? We all know it. You can put in the chat box. Or someone can shout out or say it. Okay, I can see some responses. Bonding and support, overcome stage fear, better communicator, confidence that can also speak. Yes, definitely. Definitely. So it is the value over the other things, right? So we help. It's there in the even in the club mission, which we talk about. We provide supportive environment which helps individuals to become better communicative, okay, resulting in greater self-confidence, right? This is the value we bring. The fourth important aspect is the community outreach. And this is where I really want to speak a bit about. While as Toastmasters, we promote a lot about Toastmasters within Toastmasters. What I mean by that is, yes, we promote a lot within the Toastmasters group in Facebook, Toastmasters group in Insta, but are we really going out in the community? Now, when I talk about community outreach, what does it mean? What does community outreach mean to you? Just put it in the chat box. What are the different examples of community outreach? Let's do a little bit of brainstorming here. We all know the answers. There are no right or wrong answers. Nothing? To meet other people outside Toastmasters, professional organizations, yes. More? I think we know more. What is community outreach? Community service, newspaper, yes. A bit more. Personal connections, yes. I'll give you an example. So I was just thinking today, there is one club which is not doing that great, and it is a club which was generated from the school, right? So initially there were a lot of teachers, but slowly over the period of time it declined. And I was just pondering and thinking, really, a school? Is there a dearth in finding new members? Are we really doing enough? So what could be the community outreach be for a school, particularly in terms of this example? In the chat. Yes, Toastmasters Zara, like you did in UAE Journalists Association. Yes, teachers, park drive, educators, raising awareness. But what exactly community outreach means? I have given you an example. Let's say there is a club, which is a schools. Yes, parents. Yes, Pooja Saran. Yes, right on, bingo. So when you say parents, how can the teachers reach out to parents?
They can share certain videos, or they can show the effect of Toastmasters, how it will help them express their views, opinions to their kids, and help how kids can grow.
Absolutely, absolutely. It is so true. So when a club next time in your district also, if there is a club which is from the school, and if they say they are not able to find enough people, I personally won't take it, because there's so much potential. Like one teacher, one message to one teacher to the parents group, I'm sure you can easily bring 4 to 5 parents, isn't it? Yeah, it is doable. It's just that we are not thinking out of the box when we talk about community. Speechcraft sessions, wonderfully said. Our One of our area directors from district 127 is here, Toastmaster Sara, and she's also putting out really beautiful examples over there. Demo during parent teacher meet, yes. YLP, yes, absolutely, absolutely. But hand on our heart, are we really doing enough in terms of community outreach? When the struggling clubs comes to you as leaders, do we really ask ourselves, are we really doing enough? And the answer is yes, we can do more. And there are n number of examples which I'm sure each one of us can share over here, isn't it? Club Toast Ed, online club did one online, one offline. Can you elaborate this a bit? Smiley Sunny, aha, if that is what your name is.
Yes, sure. So Club Toasted is an online club in District 116.
Okay.
So we had one online YLP last year, and then we did one in Coimbatore in Tamil
Okay.
Nadu also, in a school.
Very nice. Wonderful. 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 Beautiful. So the point I was trying to make here is we really don't do enough when it comes to community outreach. I just gave you an example of the school. Okay. There could be corporate clubs also. And when the corporate clubs come and tell, so listen, I think it's enough, end of the road. We cannot take it up. We cannot do it. It's just that you have not put enough effort in really reaching out to more and more. And I'll talk more about the retention aspect and the engagement aspect. But here we are just focusing on the building, membership building. If we really be honest with ourselves, there are so many unique ways. The radio medium is there, the print media is there, the television medium is there. Master Zara would, beautifully they have done it. They have done a demo meeting with the UA Journalists Society, and there they really reached out. They really went out, and it was there on in the TV, in the radio, in the print media. And that's the true example of how we can go out to community. But when more and more people see it, it goes around. Here we do simple steps. For example, let's say there is a club meeting. And even if the XCOM, as an XCOM, if every single member puts the meeting flyer as a WhatsApp status, it doesn't take much. Imagine how many in their circle would see the message, but not really many would do that. I would highly encourage, if you really want to add value to someone's life, take the small step. I think Stephen D'Souza is very enthusiastic in drawing and showing us some picture, but some other time for now. All right. The next, social media presence. Now, I know we all are there in social media, but I always believe that consistency is something which will help you in the wrong way, in the long way. While you might be good in Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, but think about the generation which is coming up. I think TikTok is something which I'm not sure, we are not that much there, but there is whole new market out there. This is number one, consistency in social media. Whenever you're doing some good meeting, highlights of the meeting, just put it out in the media. There are two particular aspects of social media which I would like to bring. Number one, if you can pin your club location on the Google, like if where the moment someone types the name of the club, if they are able to find the location through Google, that adds to the advantage. And number two, if you are able to get Google review, because people, just imagine for yourself also, let's say if you want to try out a school or a restaurant or any other place for that matter, any service you want to take, you will first do a Google search, right? And if you see the reviews, honest feedback reviews, that adds to the credibility. So these are the two things which not many clubs are doing it, but if you do it, it helps in building the first point, which I mentioned is club branding. Very, very important. And last but not the least, word of mouth. Like we all of us are here because someone told us that Toastmasters is really great platform to become a better speaker, to become a better communicator, and in fact, to even become a better leader, right? So this is why we are here. So spread around, word of mouth, I think it's the biggest way of spreading the word about Toastmasters. And last but not the least, open house events. Now, quick inputs on the chat box. Tell me, in a year, in a program year, how many open house events does your club do? Do you guys do one, two, how many? Two, four, 2 to 3, minimum 1, 0. Oh, 2, 2, 3. Is there any logic for this? Why do we do 1, 2, 3? Is there any season, anything in particular, or is it like whenever we feel like we should do an open house? Renewal
We
time?
also
Yes.
have a DCP point based on that.
I don't think so. DCP is based on open house directly. DCP is based on whether you get 4 and 4 members.
It is at the CGD awards. Sometimes they come up with Smedley Award or, 5 something is there, 5-star. That is there. They have a deadline, and that's how it works sometimes.
Okay, awesome. Now, if I were you, if I was a club president, and I have done that role before, one thing I have realized is if you are a excom or a club leader of a healthy club for me is about 20-25 members, right? Okay, to attract new members, I am international days that relates to our club. Okay, awesome. So if your club is in the healthy membership range, 20 to 25, you still have to do minimum 2 open house. Any idea why I'm recommending that magic number of 2? Okay. Now let me give you a scenario. Let's say there is a healthy club of 20-25 members, right? You all come, you all do the meetings, but it's the same people every time. Where is the freshness? Where is the freshness of the ideas? So even if it is a very healthy club, you still need to do 2. Yes, there will be some people who will not be renewing. Yes, members bring new energy, half yearly membership. So 2 main reasons. One is, yes, not everybody will renew. And number 2, members bring new energy, just like Toastmaster Pooja mentioned. That is for a healthy club. Now a club which is below 20, but between 20 to 12. How many they should do? If healthy club is doing 2, 20 to 12 should do
At
minimum.
least 8.
Oh, wow, that is very ambitious. I would
No,
love
to
if
retain the
everybody...
club, to retain the club.
I would really love if people would do it.
Four at least.
Yes, I would recommend 3 to 4. Yes, 3 to 4 is a very good number. because then once in one quarter they can plan it and they can do it. When we do open house, it should not be for namesake. Open house for me is you plan it ahead. It should be it is your demo meeting. It's like as good as a demo meeting, and you showcase the best. You have a slot of why Toastmasters. You have a wider slot of table topics because you want to engage with more and more guests. Have only one or two speeches. That's it. That's it. Don't give those, 3, 4 speakers and all those things. Once and okay, what kind of speakers do you usually bring in the open house?
Someone experienced.
Keynote speaker
An
along with
educational
testimonials.
Along with testimonials. Okay.
An experienced
Okay.
Toastmaster.
Now imagine now I am a new member. I walk in a club where everybody speaks exceptionally good. Will I be motivated to join, or will I be
No.
scared? Oh my God, they are too good.
No, we will have also icebreaker speech or something, beginner.
Yes. So recommendation, this is just a recommendation. There's no written record or anything as such. The recommendation is put an icebreaker, because this is what people can relate to. And second speaker should be a little bit more polished, little bit more experienced. Yeah. So there they can see, okay, this is how icebreaker is. This is how, so you can explain it during that. Yes, one icebreaker, one third level. Yes, of course. And keep an extended table topics. But before that open house, do an extensive community outreach. Then only your open house will be successful. I have seen clubs doing open house with 0 guests. They will have guests from other Toastmasters club, but they will not have any non-Toastmasters. Then it's an effort in drain, isn't it? Right? So do an open house with an intention, with proper focus, with proper roadmap, and then you can achieve what you want. So yes, if the club is between 20 to 12, 3 to 4 is recommended. And if it is below 12, of course, the club coach will be assigned, but here you need to pay a bit more attention, 4 to 6 if you can. Because anyways, here you have to be sensitive as well, because these are those clubs where normal meetings as of happening is a challenge, right? So you have to be mindful how you want to have 4 to 6 open house, but try at least 4 really effective open house. Okay, so this was the membership building from a club point of view. Now members are also very, very important in membership building. Now I have put here Toastmasters 8th promise, but you can read out also what is Toastmasters 8th promise. It's here. To bring guests to club meeting so that they can be benefited from Toastmasters membership offer. That's your 8th promise as a Toastmaster. So you can run campaigns in your respective clubs every single time. Even if one member can bring one guest in 3 months, once in 3 months, it's more than enough. A genuine guest, not their kid or wife or husband, just for namesake. Once in 3 months, that is also more than enough. If you really, really mean it and do it, nobody is so busy to, at least achieve this. And the other aspect which I would highly, highly recommend, and I'm sure your CGD will also agree, is to recognize the individual member sponsor. Anybody in the room tell me what is individual member sponsor? What does individual member sponsor mean?
When a member adds a new member
Yeah.
into the this thing, he is recognized and also is given a credit in the
Wonderful.
time when he is enrolled.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Kumaran. But hand on the heart, how many clubs actually practice this? How many VP membership actually take that effort to register in the TLI that this is the member who has bought in this member who is the individual member sponsor? And how many presidents really acknowledge in the club meeting? Please give a big round of applause, for example, for Toastmaster Raina Pinto, who has recommended 3 members.
Yeah, we
really
do that every year since past 3-4 years. We've been practicing this Marathi Toastmasters.
Very good.
Yes,
Very good.
we also had Konkan Club,
Yeah,
Rice
I've
Club,
seen in Konkan Club when
Karnataka
I was
Club,
an area.
Karnataka Club also, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're doing it, very well. But if you're not doing it, please do it, because it's very important. It is directly or indirectly related to the retention of a member. This is how you make them feel important, right? It's one of the retention strategies as well. And the bonus, if you sponsor 5 members, you get this very unique 5-member sponsor pin. And if you sponsor 10 members, you get this burgundy color 10 members pin. The very unique thing about this pins is, while all other pins you can buy from the TI store, these 2 pins you cannot buy. You will only get it if you sponsor, right? So if these are 2 pins which you're aiming for, go ahead, please promote within your clubs. I think a lot of new members, maybe they are aware, maybe they are not aware. And if they're not aware, as leaders, we should be making them aware, right? So this is on the membership building aspect. Let's move on to the other important aspect, which is the retention. So now, while we did all the club branding, the USP, the value proposition, open house, all the efforts are in, we welcome the new members, the members are in. But when they are in, they are like new babies. They really don't know what to do, right? So what are the steps involved? I want to hear from you. What are the steps involved when a new member joins in a club?
Pathway
Anybody?
orientation, assigning a mentor.
Absolutely.
Induction.
Induction. Yes, yes. While we all say it, yes, I have seen clubs, and I'll be very candid over here, because as a club group director, I have seen, in many cases as well. And when in the convention also, we speak to other leaders, the district trials from other district as well. I think it was one of the common issues is the consistency. Yeah. If you do induction, are you doing it consistently? Number one. If you do orientation, do you do it as a checklist exercise, or you really do a in-depth orientation, right? For example, there is no hard and fast script or book for it, but have you developed a very nice orientation pack where you talk to them about what are the different club meeting goals? What is to me be a timer? How to do it? Because people are new. Even the timer role, I remember the first time I took up that, I had so many questions. Oh, what is this red, amber, green light? What do I do? What is the script? Imagine yourself in their position when you had started your journey, and then develop, when you have that empathy, that mindset, automatically you will develop. So have a very good induction is, yes, important. That is through the script, but really very good orientation. Member onboarding or member orientation is very, very important. If you miss this, you lose the member. Next term, that person will not renew. Not renew. Yeah. Very, very important. The next step, mentor assignment.
Yeah,
I
actually,
think
sorry
our
to
course.
disturb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last year, what we do, when there was a new member, so before he take up a new role first time, we assign him with the existing role player like a timer. So he will sit near to the role player and he will observe what he is doing, and he will raise some questions, and then that role player will guide him for the next meeting. So he is already seeing that as a demo, and then next meeting he will do that. So, and this was wonderfully done. And DTM Namrata was there. She took up the role for Sergeant at Arms and other 2, 3, and she wonderfully drafted a complete 1-page note what to do for the next agenda, and it worked well.
I think these are the best practices which should be shared across the district, so that the clubs which are not doing it, they can follow, and this is where, we help each other, we lift each other. But what you're doing is very, very important. Yes, do a first introductory onboarding, but yes, people learn by observing also. So shadowing someone when they're doing the role also helps. So beautiful, beautiful example, Toastmaster Sameer. Okay, mentor assignment. Oh, do all the clubs have ample number of qualified mentors? How do you assign mentors? What do you do? I can see the red light quickly.
Normally, when they come for meeting, they observe people. And once they choose their mentors, we often turn up to the mentors to see if they are comfortable. And that is how it works. So, and
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a hard and fast rule, but we all are open to everyone.
Okay, okay. Now here I want everyone to do a bit of food for thought, right? If you are a mentor and you have 3 mentees, okay, one mentee will do how many speeches in 1 year, let's say 8, 9 or whatever. And every time that person is doing just a speech, you will have to give, half an hour, 1 hour time, right? If they're doing another role, you have to give enough time. It's highly recommended, again, there's no hard and fast rule, not to assign more than 3 mentees to one mentor, because it will be not justice done to the mentor, neither the mentee. Yes, of course, there are few people who are very popular, they are very good communicators, speakers, and people would love to go there. But mentorship is not about how you speak. Mentorship is all about how you guide others. So in your club, if you can have rotation mentors, that is highly recommended. Let's say anybody who has completed level 3 and above, put everybody in the mentors pool and assign new mentors in the rotation. 6 months you are mentee to this, 6 months you are, and then of course the mentee has the right to come and say, sorry, I'm not compatible, can you change? You can change it. But that way you are grooming the next set of mentors as well, and you will never struggle. The problem is when you stick to certain pool, limited pool, then it is difficult, and it is not justice for the mentee as well, because he or she will not get enough time from the mentor also. Not fair to the mentor also. Awesome. Last but not the least, celebrate member achievement. So here, again, I'm a big fan of consistency. There will be a lot of innovative ideas in the Club XCOM. Let's do birthday celebration. Let's do anniversary, new baby born, wedding, blah, blah, blue, everything. But whatever you do for one member, be consistent and do it for everyone. Otherwise, don't open the Pandora box. Pick one thing out of 10 things, pick one thing and do it consistently. Yeah, that is on the personal front. In the Toastmasters journey, yes, celebrate achievement. If they have done finished icebreakers, celebrate. If they have done the role for the first time, celebrate. If they have completed that DTM, celebrate it. If they have completed their levels, celebrate it. That is the key to retain the members. I'll quickly move on to the next because red is on and I don't want to overshoot time. Now, regular or senior members, often we have seen this problem where a little senior Toastmasters, they have done their DTM, they have been in Toastmaster for very long years, and then there is a disconnect. They don't know, whether I should be there, I should not be there, the club is not calling me. How can we retain? What can we do about that? For that, a very simple answer is sense of purpose. After a certain level, you have to give them sense of purpose. What does it mean? If your district or division or area wants to create a pool of champions, have such senior people, have a panel, give them that. We want to prepare champion. Can you guide them? Okay, have them as a keynote speakers for education sessions or whatever. There are n number of ways to involve them, include them. But if you really think through, there are ways. And for me, in one phrase, I call it as sense of purpose. When you give them sense of purpose, they will come back, right? Assign mentees, education session, and sense of purpose. And again, celebrate their achievement also, right? It's all about celebration. It's all about uplifting each other. Now, some best practices. Like I always say, maintain consistent communication. Whatever you start, please do it for everyone. Fairness is very, very important. You don't know how it hits a person when you do it for one person, when you don't do it for, it's the biggest disengagement, I would say. You discourage someone. So please be consistent. Offer diverse, high quality meeting. Of course, this is something the Club XCOM do look at. Create a supportive, inclusive environment, recognize contribution, encourage learning, leadership. I spoke about education session, creating champions, lot of things, and track and analyze membership trends. What has this to do? If you see suddenly a lot of people leaving, just pick up the phone call as XCOM, assign between XCOM, okay, you call 5 people, you call 5 people, but genuinely speak to them and understand what is wrong. Yeah. And then correct. Now, some important timelines, which I thought is important to share. Let me just minimize it. Okay, so we are already in September. I'm sure everyone is working on the renewals because this is the time you do the membership renewals. Yeah, this is very important, especially for the Club XCOM from a membership aspect, right? Smedley Award is August and September, which is ongoing. October is the time I suggest again reconnect with the inactive members. This is the time the breather is there. Then again, you will get busy with the contest, plan club contest. I would highly recommend to the clubs during the club contest that can also be converted as open house because that time you have best of your best speakers. Yes, they will not be getting the chance to speak, but again, there's no harm in trying, right? If you get a member, you get a member without doing something extra. Use the club contest. Then February, March, again, the Talk Up Toastmasters Club. But again, this is the time start working on the renewals because March onwards, again, the renewal time is there. And again, in the end, we have beat the clock. With this, I think I will give it back to our host. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful training. Now let's take some questions. If anyone has any questions, you can share it with Toastmaster Samir and then we can take it, or you can directly ask by unmuting yourself. Samir, do you have any
Yeah,
questions in the
yes.
chat? You can take.
No, I have prepared. I have one or two questions.
Okay.
Thank God. I
Basically,
thought no questions means my training was so good that I have all the answers. Everything is answered.
uh, just small questions. What do you mean by consistent induction? Because induction we give or do at the beginning when they join, when new Toastmasters join, right? So what do you mean by consistent induction? That is first question.
Okay, so do you have a modus operandi on when you do the induction? So I have seen clubs where they will do the induction initially when the members are joining,
Yes.
and then there is a big gap. The members join and it's 2 months, 3 months is gone, 4 months is gone, and still the induction is not done, right? So when I say consistent induction, it has to be within the first month and do it for everyone consistently. Don't wait for a very long time.
Okay.
Either do it offline or do it online. Okay?
And my second question is actually, you mentioned about the mentor. So this
Yes.
problem I also faced, that how to select a mentor means anybody who has done, you mentioned that anybody who has completed level 3 or something. So it means sometimes it happened that people ask me, can you, Samir, become a mentor? So sometimes I don't feel that I cannot be your mentor because you're already a good speaker. You just mentioned some polishing, so I cannot be your mentor. So how to select such a mentor for a perfect mentor for the perfect new Toastmaster?
Okay, so there is and this is again my opinion, my humble opinion. There's nothing called as perfection in Toastmasters. We are all here because we want to become better, right? And same stands for mentor and mentee. There's a beautiful training program also for mentors in the pathways. If you go and do that module, okay, there are set of behaviors, set of attributes which you need to have as a mentor, and there are set of behaviors and attributes in which you need to have as a mentee also. I remember when I was division director, I did this project for mentorship, especially, and we called it as Project Aristotle. So what we did is we collected a pool of mentors across the division, right? Whoever wants to be mentor, you need not to be a very senior Toastmasters or whatever. If you have willing to give that knowledge to someone, some people are very good in explaining, right? And they need not be like 10 years, 15 years, they could be new, but it's just that because they have been exposed to so many meetings, they know they have earned that knowledge, right? So whoever wants to be that, we said, okay, no problem, we'll give you some basic training, okay, in terms of attributes, in terms of behavior. We make them go through that pathways module, and that way we had it, right? So when I remember we had my PQ team that at that point of time, we had a set of questionnaire. We used to ask the mentor and the mentee standard set of questions. Okay, what are the qualities you're looking for in a mentor? How much of the time you are requiring for the mentor? Yeah. And same was from the mentor as well. Okay. How many mentors can you take? What is your availability? Because some of them are senior professionals, they are traveling, they might not have so much time, but they still want to contribute. Right. So when they used to then compare and then find the matches. And then we used to have rotating as well, because that way it used to give opportunity to everyone. It's just about creating more and more leaders, more and more mentors, and not just sticking to few who have been doing it for so long. I'm not saying that's bad, that's good, but we have to expand, we have to create more, isn't it?
Thank you.
Anyone else has any questions?
Yes,
Toastmaster?
I have a question. I'm a member. I'm the VPM for an Tamil speaking club. The problem that we face is uh, going beyond the community, the Toastmasters community for getting members. A lot of times, the members of Tamil speaking community, they believe that when they come and attend the meeting, they are happy. They love speaking their own language, but later on they feel that people who can really speak that authentic Tamil, okay, that they cannot feel, then they believe that they cannot accommodate themselves, and also they don't find the benefits of taking this to their professional life, because Tamil is in a home grown language for them, so they cannot use it professionally, so they disconnect again, coming back to Toastmasters meeting after they are called as a guest. So how to convert these members and how to go beyond the community? Uh, how to get this? Can you share the experience that in your district, how do they handle such? Thank you.
Okay. It's a very unique problem. While we can try, but it's not necessary every time it will work, right? So first and foremost, like I said, what is I would like to ask you, what is the USP, or what is the value you as a club is offering to the members? When you invite members, what is the USP you talk? Yes, Tamil speaking club, but in terms of value, what is the value they get?
They get the opportunity to speak in their own language very nicely without adding English. Simple.
Yes. So one of the problem or one of the catchphrases which you can use it, which I'm speaking as an expat, right? This generation, we are all speaking our home mother country, home tongue, right? Mother tongue. But the next generation, they don't speak that much. Of course, it's not a gavel club, I understand, but I'm talking about people who are 18 and above. So when these people are coming, I think that could be your target market, 20 plus and above, the young people who are not able to speak at their home and who are too shy to speak in front of the relatives because they might shame them. Toastmasters is a safe space where they can come and talk, and we will encourage them, clap for them. That could be one of the solutions, but again, it's just my assumption. Or if I were you, I would have definitely done a proper assessment in terms of exit form, speak to people, rework with the club and say, okay, how we want to position ourselves. Like, it's about, even in marketing or sales, you position the product, you understand where is the need, and accordingly you position it. So whatever answers I will give, it's again from a very half knowledge, limited knowledge, but I just shared one of the viewpoints or one of the possible areas which I see for my own kids. They don't speak my home tongue, so mother language. So I would love to send them to one of the Tulu speaking club or Kannada speaking club, right?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I think with this, we will stop our question answer session here. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking care of everything, each and every question of our members. You have answered very well. Very nice session. I am thankful to you and lot of gratitude for you accepting this role and taking care of how to retain membership. That is the major obstacle or challenge we all are facing in any district, I believe. So thank you for giving us some tips that how we can retain or how we can give the new members some new energy, something new to each and every club by adding this kind of new members, and how to add these new members and how to retain these members. So thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause to Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Soumya Shetty.
Thank you so much, Division B Director. I think it was very thoughtful of you to think of something like this. It's a very great initiative, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I hope everybody found it valuable as well. So thank you for having me here.
Yes, sure, ma'am. We will be posting this on our YouTube channel also. So everybody, whoever is not able to make it today, they will enjoy while listening to your training session later on as per their time permit. So let's move on to our next trainer for today. And we are going to have Toastmaster Christoph Skim from again District 127. And he is an ex-president of Capital Toastmasters. 5 years in UAE and in Toastmasters. He likes to travel and play football. Wow. So in Qatar, we all love football because of FIFA 2022. And I hope you all must have enjoyed FIFA 2022 in Qatar when it was here. So let's put your hands together to welcome our second trainer, Toastmaster Christoph. Closing the cell. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Vision B Director Ajaya. Can you hear and see me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Please let me know if you can see it.
Yes, and Toastmaster Yatika will be the timer. She is in the room now. Okay.
Okay. Whenever I go on red, it would be great if you could notify me because I will directly focus on the slides, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. Great. So as per your request to look into how to convert actually guests into members, I've put together a few slides based on closing the sale, but also to convert guests into members. You have heard previously from the club growth director about reaching out in the community and also afterwards to retain the members who have already signed up. But my topic tonight is more about when the guests are at the meeting, what can we do to convert them into members who also stay? So for today, I've listed my agenda today is that there's a few questions which hopefully stimulate your thinking about how do you want to go about it when you strategize in the beginning of your year in July. New ExCom is formed, president, ExCom, especially vice president membership sit together and see how you can reach the DCP, how you can reach your membership goals. On average, I think Toastmasters International mentions that up to 40% of members might not renew during a renewal cycle, which is a very high number. So you have to consistently and constantly look out for new members, new guests, but also successfully convert them. Then my second topic will be a bit about an approach, how we can do that. This is one way of doing it. Of course, there's other way, but I want to show you one that has worked very well in our club. And lastly, it's a bit more the formal part of signing up the members with the membership form. When we talk about closing the sale, it's more about how can I actually formalize the conversion from when a guest is willing to pay the membership fee and then afterwards filling out as well the application form. So there's a few design choices that vice president of membership and president, in my opinion, should look into when you look into the year coming up as in the Toastmasters year. And the first one is to focus on retaining existing members, but also do you want to focus more on acquiring new members? So some clubs are bigger clubs, 20 plus, 30 plus members who have more focus on retaining members, providing because the problems are different. So it's more about, do I give enough speaking time to all the members? How do I get high quality education? For smaller clubs, it's more about how do I find new members? So this is a question you might want to answer first, where your more of your energy of your time actually goes throughout the year. Then secondly, it's asking yourself, is it a conscious, exhaustive effort from all the members in the club, or is it more centralized around the VPM, that the VPM contacts new members during meetings, afterwards does the follow-up, or is even extensions of VP in the XCOM also responsible for it? Do you want to centralize that all in one person, how it's done in many clubs, or do you want to engage the members on top of that as well? And lastly, good to ask yourself, do you want to focus only on a specific segment, let's say a specific language or a specific nationality, or sometimes it's actually a corporate club, so this is more specific, or do you welcome all the guests to join you? So it can be, as the previous trainer also said, advanced clubs, there could be language-based clubs, etc. So this is something, if you have a generic club, you can ask to segment or to keep it open for the public. So if we look into let's say the scenario that you want to acquire new members, and it's about converting guests into members, and this is mostly driven by the vice president of membership. My approach, which I want to share with you today, is about brainstorming a bit what ideas could you implement to actually make that happen. Secondly, is to create a matrix about how much impact and how much effort each of the ideas will create. I'll show you this in a few moments. And then afterwards is to as well create an action plan and to align with your president what will actually happen. Because the strategy might be nice, but culture eats strategy for breakfast. And if you don't have a proper execution of your ideas, your concepts, your plans, it will not end up everywhere. And we've seen this across several clubs, how this can painfully lead to failure. And in the end, all the effort, all the time invested is actually wasted, or let's say put all in vain. If you have any questions, please just unmute and you can ask me. I know we have a dedicated Q&A session afterwards. I prefer to walk you through the ideas and concepts, and then afterwards, if you have any questions, so maybe we can plan a bit more time then for the Q&A session afterwards. If you look into a brainstorming session, how does it usually work? You would have an ExCom meeting. Sometimes the vice president of membership has taken other roles in the club, or even in the ExCom, so is a bit more experienced, so brainstorms on his or her own, but it depends. But when you brainstorm about any ideas, how you convert members into guests into members, there's a few things which should not limit you, or a few things which you can focus on, which is to encourage wild ideas, impracticable suggestions, create a safe space as well, where all the ideas are welcome. I think it's very critical, especially in the first 2 months, July and August of the Toastmasters year, that you put effort into brainstorming on how you want to reach the goals set by the president, and also put and define in the club success plan. So this is something that is really helpful to conduct a brainstorming session. We would meet in the ExCom every in July, maybe 2 times, then another time in August to refine the plan a bit. But very important during the brainstorming session to sit together, to build on others' ideas, not to be destructive, to talk about yes, but, or no, but to be open and keep all the ideas on the table until you later discard and separate between the better ones and the ones where you say this won't work most likely. Also, it's important when you conduct brainstorming to set a clear objective, to define the actual problem or the goal, usually set by the president in the beginning of the year, or even by the vice president membership, so the session stays actually focused and aligned. Some things to avoid for brainstorming is to criticize and judge early, to also dominate the conversation, that only one person speaks, and that some members are by nature a bit more shy and take a bit more time to warm up or to speak their ideas. So it's important that the moderator of the brainstorming, or the lead, is ensuring that all members of the session have a say and bring in their ideas. And also a big trap is to only stick to familiar solutions, which just relates to what has worked in the past will surely work for next year as well. So really, I encourage everyone, or the leader, the moderator, should encourage the team to break the patterns and not reinforcing the patterns. So to really have a clean slate and really to let the ideas flow how they go. Afterwards, you have a lot of ideas then on the table, on the whiteboard. You have put it all together. It's a massive list. There's a lot of great ideas on the table, but the problem is you will most likely not be able to do all of these ideas. So what I propose, what you can see here, is a simple tool which is called the impact effort matrix. It's been proven countless times and is very effective to organizing your ideas. Actually, you can see here the y-axis, you see this is the impact, which you think as a team, or let's say the moderator, which whatever initiative or idea will have a high impact to converting, in this case, to guests, to members, what has a lower impact. And then from the x-axis, you see from the left to the right, you see the effort you have to put into it. Is it either an extended team of the vice president membership, a support team? Is it the member itself, or is it the XCOM? So whoever has to carry out the task. I've put a few tasks as examples together. It might be a little overwhelming, but I'm happy, of course, to share also the presentation afterwards, and you can read through a bit more in detail. But mainly, you see here that what you can do during the meetings, for example, is to take only guests during the table topics. There's a few discussions about who should actually participate in the table topics. You would have usually, as per meeting timings, 4, 5, 6 people speaking, so you can choose before who you would actually take. So something that has been very powerful, that people who are for the first, second time visiting the club can actually get a stage to speak a minute or two. So this helps a lot in vision for them to see how it would look like if they have to speak with an unfamiliar audience in front of them. Another idea, for example, these are just examples here, is to assign a guest experience host, someone who is dedicated to welcoming the guests, dedicated to explaining how the meeting will work if there's questions, dedicated to introducing the guests, or letting them speak briefly in the beginning or the end, and then afterwards also taking the context. It's kind of on behalf of the vice president membership, someone who manages the guest experience actively during the meeting. Then you have other ideas. If I go a little bit to the right, so this has, you see that high impact, but has actually relatively low effort, because this one person has a very standard protocol to do certain things, and then the impact of converting the guests into members is relatively high. Of course, there might be other things that I've not listed here. The list is probably endless, but I've just given a few examples here. Then you can also, with a bigger, higher effort, create a slide deck explaining the Toastmasters organization, which you can either share before the meeting, or you can share it during the introduction of the president to talk about what Toastmasters is actually about. You could look into tracking the guest attendance. You could create Microsoft or Google form sheet. You could do it as well in Excel, which of course more details, but it will of course depend whoever is what the responsible person is more comfortable with. And then there's a few other ideas which will yield a bit probably less impact, but might have a bit more effort. For example, you can see here to create and show a pre-meeting onboarding video where probably some members speak a few seconds about the experience in the club, how it has transformed their public speaking journey, and so forth. You could prepare a guest package with materials, maybe with handouts. It could be anything that you think is and it's also in alignment with the brand of Toastmasters International. So you give each guest one of these packages. This might have, of course, a higher cost, might have also a higher effort to produce. The impact, it depends. I ranked it here as low because people will forget, and if they will not be excited by the meeting itself, they might not join, but some people really jump on it and remember it later. So it depends a bit how you rate the impact and the effort within your club to be possible to do that. So with that said, I will not go through all of the actions, of course, but it shows a bit how it helps you a bit prioritize what are these actions you could do at the beginning of the year to help you increase the conversion rate. So point number 3 is, after you have now 3 or 4 items, you could discuss this with the president and the XCOM team, and then create a specific action plan to say, we need certain actions implemented by a certain date. We have here, for example, I've picked 3 examples. I picked the exact guest package which I was talking about earlier to hand out the guest. So in this case, I've picked random names. Ahmed, for example, with a deadline of the 31st of July. Immediate next steps would be to agree with the president on specific contents of the package. What would the package look like? Is it physical? Is it a digital? Is it an email that you send to your guests to thank them for attending and to afterwards share them a few more materials about Toastmasters, why they will join, encourage them, etc. And then also check with the budget, with the treasurer, if there is a budget required, if we have, or if the club has the funds to do that, etc. And then take it from there and track the action plan. Another item you see, which I've listed here, is to assign the guest experience host, which is all about, you see here, by 15 July to be done, to decide if the host changes every meeting. Some people prefer to have only one host for the entire year. So it would be depending if that person who is the dedicated or designated guest experience host is coming every meeting, or if you have a backup, or if any member can be a guest experience host to encourage people to learn also how to convert the guests into members. Then also to agree with the president who will be the host actually. And lastly, maybe to prepare a quick deck, which goes a long way, because if you standardize your preparation and you standardize your delivery, your inductions, it will help a lot for the host to know what to say, how to act, and later also what to report to the XCOM. So this will be a key part, this deck, to help the host manage the meeting and convert as many guests as possible. And lastly, of course, track guest attendance. You see here, I've also put random names and dates just for the sake of the example, just for you to see a little how this could look like, to decide a way of tracking. Do we do this in Excel? Do we have a form where we link a QR code with Linktree, for example? And I can explain a little later in the Q&A session how this can work. We've implemented in our club. Important also to agree on what details to be tracked. Most forms are very extensive. Some are a bit too short, just asking name and email. So it depends a little bit how much information do you want to ask, to make it also easy for the guests, to make the guest journey also easier to follow through, to make it easy to join. So you don't want to, I recommend not to ask too many questions, but also not to ask too less questions. So it's a bit of a, the golden part is probably in the middle, to ask maybe 4 or 5 questions about mail, how did they find out, what was the impression, and the contact details like a number, etc. And then of course to set the tracking mechanism up. Remember also a few things. These all actions, that looks like a lot of work, and you know, of course we have a lot of other commitments outside Toastmasters. We have work, family, travels, etc. So it might not be the VPM who delivers all the actions. It might you see here a VPM support team, which you might look into an extended VPM team to help. It could be a specific member who's keen on contributing to the club. So the VPM doesn't need to run the show entirely if it's too much. Maybe it's better even to oversee it only. Secondly, it's important to track this action plan, to see where do we stand. Did we launch the guest package? Do we have the host in place? To get continuous feedback also from the president, to see that we really deliver on our plan. Because as said in the beginning, if it's in vain, what did we do it for? Yeah, so the learning really also comes, and the growth comes from doing the following through on the action plan actually. And then lastly, of course, it might get very complicated. People have a lot of ideas. People have a lot of things they want to do, got very excited at the beginning of the year, but also let's not forget that what's implemented is what counts, meaning that the simpler you keep it, the more likely it is that it actually becomes a reality. So just a few nuggets of knowledge or from the experience also that we have seen. Another thing to do, and the best complementary thing that you want to ensure in your club is actually to have a high meeting quality. Because if guests get excited, if guests see the energy of the club, if guests see that the club works in a structured way, there's a proper dedicated team behind it who runs it and manages, for example, the time and other things, that likelihood of guests signing up, becoming a members because they're comfortable with the club is much higher. So of course the timing is very important to begin with. the participants, and especially also the role player, should arrive early, should be prepared by the XCOM or by themselves, reading from the Toastmasters International website about the roles, about the timer role, about the table topics master role, etc. So these are very important points. The club officers should also fulfill their responsibilities, that as discussed, the vice president membership, for example, afterwards the treasurer, the vice president of education, etc., that they're approachable and also that they fulfill their duties. The meeting is not too fast, not too slow. It's a digestible pace, and this is often overlooked. Some clubs are sometimes a little slower. Some clubs speed up towards the end because they feel the timing gets very short. Members get very nervous about will we be on time. So important to keep a consistent pace throughout the meeting. The members, also important that you have enthusiastic members. You can recognize achievements. You can generally have a few comments or let's say statements at the beginning about inspiring quotes. You can push as well to have interesting topics at table topics, etc. So the enthusiasm, the energy goes up, and a general base enthusiasm builds up over throughout the meeting. And every project, of course, is a manual project, which is, I think, self-explanatory about project from the Toastmasters side. It's something that the members craft really with detail, and then after deliver the speech to their best abilities. The members should, of course, talk to the guests when they start thinking about joining, but it's always important that it comes from a standard communication, that we have consistency and why it is so good to join Toastmasters. So, of course, we need to reinforce the improved speaking abilities. The development of leadership, which is often overlooked. When you go through a journey from a member towards, you start maybe as a sergeant at arms, you work yourself up the ranks to a treasurer, to a vice president's role. You learn such valuable skills over time, and you learn a lot about leading others, not being their formal boss. And this is something that should give everybody to think about. So the leadership development is something overlooked but very critical to highlight as a benefit of joining. Better social skills as well, to interact with others, with other professionals as well, treat them with respect and support each other. Greater self-esteem as well. As you become more confident on stage, your self-esteem will naturally grow. So these are a few points that we should consistently communicate to guests when they think about joining. Now I'm getting a bit more to the admin part, which is the actual filling out of the membership. Before I do that, I want to talk also about the fees briefly, just touch it briefly. Some clubs rent different places, let's say from libraries to other places where it's almost for free. So the cost of meeting is relatively low, and the club charges much less in member fees than other clubs who go to, let's say, more prime locations, being in the center of a city, to have people who work there having shorter commutes towards the meetings. It will always depend a bit how much you charge your members. In the end, of course, we're non-profit, and we don't. It's up to every club to set the membership fees. Sometimes membership fees might sound high for certain members. Sometimes the membership are as low, but you can hardly invest into, let's say, socials or into buying materials, branding materials from Toastmasters International. So it will be up to the treasurer and the president to see how much should be charged to keep the club financially healthy. So after having said this, of course, the formal part is to sign up, is to fill the membership application form. And you can see here, this is a screenshot. You can access this also on the Toastmasters International website. If you have any questions, the VPM is the right person to talk to share this. I think it's very valuable to have this ready also as PDF format in WhatsApp, so people can directly fill it and print it out on their own laptops after it's shared. It, of course, can be shared in a formal email per mail as well. So the formalities are written, but in what we see on the ground, in reality, most members are signed up through WhatsApp, or let's say sharing the PDF and returning it on a WhatsApp in the PDF format. Then, of course, when you fill out the application, I'll keep this a little shorter. It's relatively straightforward. There is, of course, a new member who first-time joiner. You have reinstated members who were Toastmasters in the past, but have come back to the fraternity, to the organization, and are so-called then reinstated members. You have renewing members, people who have, or members who have no break, as it says also in the membership, who are literally renewed in their application. What I understand is that this is currently done online, the renewals. So the renewals work even with the self-pay option now all online. So this has been simplified a little bit. There's another way of signing up for another club, which is a second club. So if you're part of one club and you join another club because, let's say, a recommendation or it's an advanced club, you can apply for a dual membership. Some clubs do give discounts, but it depends. I understand a bit up to every club how it works. But definitely your pathway progress should be synchronized, and you can give speeches in different clubs. Then the transfer, if you decide for, let's say, you move to another country or you move location, another club is more appealing, you can also apply for a transfer from one club to another. Then you have the financial part, which I just discussed. This is always dependent on the club itself. So every club charges a different membership fee based on their costs. And I think this is very self-explanatory, because you pay what the club is asking to pay to be a member for 6 months. Transfer member, it will also depend on the club. It's very individual. I'm not aware of a specific fee that is charged as per default from Toastmasters International for transfer members, but this has to be discussed, and of course with the vice president membership of the respective club. To fill out the form and to close the membership application, you have as well a section of a sponsor, which was discussed previously as well in the training beforehand. So I'll go through this. I'll skip this for now, because I think this is relatively clear. The person who sponsors, the person which then also it needs to have the number of the member, and then of course the club of that sponsor, if someone is financially chipping in for a specific member to become part of Toastmasters. And then you see here signatories and payment. In some cases, the applicant or the guests are not comfortable with providing their credit card details or their other financial details. So it will be up to the respective membership, vice president of membership, to decide how much will be provided as details in terms of data protection as well. This depends on country by country. The verification of the applicant is still important, and also the verification of the club officer does make actually the signature makes actually this application valid. So there has to be an acknowledgement from the club side, from the applicant, and then from the club side, from the club officer side, to make the application actually valid. Good, then I have a few concluding words, which leads me always through enthusiasm, because without enthusiasm, most of things will not start. You have to build on it with techniques, which I hoped I helped you with today with my example about brainstorming, the impact effort matrix, and then the action plan, which is a technique how you get to a better conversion rate of guests to members. The meeting roles, as also discussed, are very important, which are powerful pillars of meetings. If they do well, it's really also showing the professionality of our Toastmasters organization. The timing is something that usually surprises and astonishes new guests when they see how well actually and how structured the model is actually designed. Mentor assistant, very important to have early on someone assigned to the new guests. And even before, the promise just that you will get a mentor who will help you, who will take you by the hand, who will walk you through, let's say, and help you with Basecamp, who will help you with the speeches, etc., part for part. It depends, of course, will always help you as a guest to become more comfortable that I'm not alone after I've paid the money and after I come to the next meeting. Materials and information as well. This is between Vice President of Education, Vice President of Membership, to share all related materials, to maybe give an onboarding deck, to probably also inform the club about a new guest joining, and to provide any other related materials. It will help a lot as well, make the guest more keen and also more comfortable before and after joining. And then an official induction is during the next meeting. It's a very good practice to have to on a slide probably, or at least verbally acknowledge that there is a new member, a little bit of background, and then if the person is present in the meeting, to also have that person stand up and have a round of applause. So this helps a lot. And I think then you're set for a win-win sale. A few tips, what I've seen or what we've seen in the past based on experience. So if you previous slide, I've shown you a bit the formula. Now I want to show you or give you a few nuggets of knowledge for your next let's say year or the current status, which is to encourage the entire club to support signing up guests, to bring guests, to communicate. The VPM is a central point who has all the information, who can help convert, but it shouldn't be an individual focus. It can not only be the members, but also especially the XCOM as well, with other ideas to come up how we can convert the guests into members. I think it's important what I mentioned before to reiterate the benefits of joining the club. It's a bit of psychological tool to continuously communicate. The more you hear things, the more likely you believe them. So if you have, let's say, a fun, diverse environment, a fast tracking of public speaking skills, the mentor assignment, leadership development, better social skills, etc. This is very powerful to say it out loud, not to have it on the slide or to know about it, but also to communicate it. To track the guest attendance has been very powerful because you can see after who joins, but also who joins again. So we created, for example, a KPI for our Vice President of Membership to say how many guests have actually attended in a meeting or even in the quarter. And then actually we track the conversion rate. Like let's say if 10 guests attended in the last 3 months, how many have actually joined? Are we doing the right things? By going back to impact effort and the ideas, are we actually engaging the guests the right way so they're actually keen on joining us? Or maybe even if you don't see a lot of conversions from guests and people come and don't sign up, maybe do even a root cause analysis to say, why are people not coming back? Is it because too high membership fees? Is it because the location is not great? Is it because the club energy does not match the guests' expectations? Are they not invited to speak? So you can ask a few questions. Maybe you can even ask the guests themselves. Of course, sometimes a bit more an uncomfortable thing to do, but it will give invaluable feedback for you as a club to check how to increase the conversion rate. Afterwards, I think also from time to time, it's important to discuss in the XCOM meetings if some members are good fits.
Toastmaster
So you have.
Christoph, sorry to disturb you. You have already exceeded your time by
Okay.
4 minutes. So can you please wrap
This is the
up?
last slide. Okay, so they incentivize the members to bring new guests and also to enjoy and be enthusiastic about opening a club to new people. And that's literally my last slide. Very sorry for that.
No issues. Actually, you were giving us so many information and so many tips. So I didn't want to stop you. A great training session by you. Let's give a big round of applause to you, all of us. And if any questions are there, we are having 2 minutes left for the question answer session. We can take few questions if anyone has anything.
I have
Amit,
one
do you have
question.
anything on the chat?
Okay, I have one question from my side. First of all, I like the impact and efforts that chart. So thank you for that. My question is, when we welcome the guest in the demo meeting or open house, and when they leave the meeting, we take the follow-ups. But multiple follow-ups irritates the guest, and then they do not convert somehow. Some guest means. So how to tackle this and convert these guests into members?
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so it's a great question. I'll try to keep that short. Not every guest who's coming can be converted for different reasons, and I think it's very important to respect that some members might come 2-3 times and they might say, yes, I want to sign up, yes, I want to come, but they will not come back for different reasons. And make maximum the second follow-up, but then accept as well if the guest does not come back to you requesting for more details, for a form, for material about the club, then I would say move on to the next. Do not waste the time. As you said, it only annoys, and you might waste the energy because the person is generally not interested or cannot find the time to become a member, to attend the meetings.
Right. That's the correct approach. I also feel that if we sense that the person is not really interested, no need to waste our time and energy following up with the same person again and again. And then it will spread a bad mouth by that person in other people community also. So let's avoid that. So great. Any other questions here?
I see one question in the chat, DTM Hajaya.
Yeah, I'll just read. Samir, can you read the question, please?
Like how many
Yeah.
means after how many meetings a guest convert? They usually after first meeting or second meeting means at least 50% of the guests convert, and out of is suppose 20 guests visit a club in a year. In that, how five of them may join or 10 of them join. What maybe means average to get some idea.
There's actually two questions, correct? I'll start with the second one. After how many meetings? So you see that guests like it, but they want to just test it one more time to see how the club works. Is it consistent? Is it always like that? Or was just that particular meeting really good? So what we have said, if after the third time you come, you pay us 30 dirham for us because we have a charge for our chairs if we need additional capacity. What other clubs, what we've just heard and what we're implementing now is that we say, if you come a third time, you have to convert to a member. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense that you keep joining us. So we will make it obligatory to join. So I would say 2 times is normal to join, but after the third time, there should be an action from the XCOM VPM to convert a member, or if you want to take it a bit softer, to charge a small fee because there's a room fee or so ever, that people are really incentivized or kind of softly forced to join. On the first question, how a percentage of guests convert like 20 to 50%, I believe the number is much lower. If you get a 10% conversion rate, you're extremely good already. We got around 2 to 5%. We had like in a year, we had 75 guests, I think, attracted 4 or 5 years ago. And we had like 4 or 5 guests. So you can see there was like 5 to 10% is already decent rate. Do not expect wonders from every guest who comes will join. People come, take other clubs. There's other reasons. Membership fees are high. It is not a given that the guest will automatically join. So I would say 5 to 10% is a very good rate and could be given from the president to the VPM as a target, my opinion. Hope it answers the question.
Yes, I think he has shown a thumbs up. So
Yes,
that's
definitely
great.
very good.
Yeah.
The statistics is very good. Data says much more. Thank you.
Thank you for asking the question and got it clarified also from our trainer. So we will stop here only for the question answer session also because we are running short of time. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Pisto, for giving us that insightful training. And I'm sure each one of us in the room have benefited out of your training session. And we are really thankful for joining us today and giving a best of the best detailed training session for all my VPMs that how to convert a guest into a member. And we will see the results in coming quarter end. As on
Thank you very
30th
much for the
September.
opportunity.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
and
you.
hope it is helpful. I will share the slides as well. Or you have it, right, to distribute it
Yes,
for
I
any
have it.
questions.
Yes,
I'm
you already
available for
shared
any
it.
questions.
Thanks. Thank you. So now with that, let's give a big round of applause to him once again. And I would like to call my TLI chair, Toastmaster Manjari, to give vote of thanks. And we will, after that, we will conclude the session and end for the day. Manjari.
Good evening, everyone. Without further ado, let me, on behalf of all participants, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all trainers, Soumya Shetty and Christopher Shimke, for conducting such an insightful and engaging training session. Your guidance, knowledge, and practical tips have truly enriched us and will go a long way in our personal and professional growth. Thank you. My sincere thanks also goes to our Division B director for arranging such a wonderful, giving me such a wonderful opportunity to arrange this, and for ensuring that we continue to learn and grow and excel together. Thank you for all participating with enthusiasm and involvement. Goodbye. See you in another series, and back to you, Division B director.
Thank you. Let's give a big round of applause to my TLI chair, Toastmaster Manjali, for doing this, everything, whatever agenda and taking care of all the role players and many other things which were required for conducting a division level training. So let's give a big round of applause to her. I would like to thank all my Division B EXCOM members to be present here, and they were there like a rock behind me, and we are learning together and we are growing together. So learning is the greatest power. Keep learning, keep succeeding. With this positive note, I would like to adjourn today's Division B training series, TLI series number 2, adjourn. Let's take a group photo. Whoever is there and can open their videos, we can take one photo for our records and we will publish it everywhere, so you will become famous. So please open your videos. I would like to thank all my members, whoever is there now and who stick to the training room and who are there, for joining us here today. And I hope you all have enjoyed today's training session. We are going to bring more and more such sessions for each of the member of District 116, not only Division B, but the District 116. Each and every member should get benefit out of our training session. So with this, Manjari, can you take one screenshot for everyone?
It's done.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Let's show some hands. Take one more, Manjari, please.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Thank you. I'm really so much. I have no words that the very nice training session you have conducted today and given your Sunday evening time to us. That is most important thing, because for us Sunday is working, but for you in Dubai it will be a holiday for you. But thank you for joining us, and we are really happy that you were with us. Next time we will try to bring more and more sessions and more and more trainers from District 127, and we'll hope you will support us for that. With that, we can conclude and you can take care of, and good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you, everyone. See you.
Good night. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.